3D project for us tonight. These little Valentine containers, little Valentine boxes, and they hold Russell Stover candies. I got two different kinds at the store. I got the dark chocolate and coconut cream, and then the other one, let's see which, this one. The other one is a marshmallow heart covered in milk chocolate. And so the project tonight fits either one of these. I did find that the marshmallow heart is a little bit wider, maybe. It's you can see it's a bigger package, but they both fit inside the box that we're going to make tonight. My friend Jennifer Roke at Stamp Camp with Jen made something similar to this the other day on her site, and inspired me to look for something that I could design a box for, and this is what I came up with. So I'm going to talk just about some of the products that I used tonight in this project. The first is the heart felt bundle. Move some of these out of the way. The heartfelt bundle, and it comes with 2 punches, a scalloped edge punch, you might be able to see it on the back better, and a smooth edge heart punch. And you can see where I've cut the scalloped and the smooth edged ones. They layer together really nicely. You can see it there. And the I don't think I actually used any stamps in tonight's project from the Heartfelt stamp set, but I did use the heart stamp on this project. This is just stamped on there. No layerings, it's just stamped. Isn't that pretty? You can buy these separately, of course, the 2 hearts. They come in a pack. The 2 hearts you have to buy together, but you can buy the punches without buying the stamp set. But this is still a bundle, so you save 10% if you buy both. And there are some nice sentiments in this one. Love you lots. You know, obviously they're kind of Valentine's oriented. Roses are red, violets are blue, from my heart to yours. So cute, but definitely a Valentine's oriented stamp set. And then another product I used is the Posted for You. This actually comes as a bundle as well. I used I'm going to use tonight for my project this special delivery postage stamp, and I used it on this one that I made today. I don't know if you can see that. See that little, it says special delivery, and it looks like a postmark. But this comes with a coordinating punch also, and it looks like a postage stamp. You stamp these images and then you punch them out, and they look like little postage stamps. I haven't done a lot with this one yet. I actually just got it, but it does come as a bundle, and it's on page 81 of the annual catalog. And then another product that I used in these projects is the So Sentimental stamp set and the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I love this set. I like the sentiments that are in it, but I especially like these dies. Oops, and here's the one I used. These little scalloped edged rectangles. I use that in all of these, and I will use it again in the project that I'm going to do with you tonight when I make one of these boxes. So it's just really sweet. And I also used the sentiment out of this. It says for you. I used that on some of these, and I'm going to use it in the box I'll make tonight. Definitely a nice set to have, especially those dies. So I've pre-cut some things, and what I'm using tonight is Rococo Rose paper. This is an in color from the 2019 to 2021 in color group. That means when the new catalog comes out, I think it's in June, these colors will go away. This is the graduating class, so to speak. But I love this color. It's kind of a dusty, a rose color, basically a dusty rose color. I'm using that, and a color that I don't use very often but really pairs nicely with Rococo Rose is Mary Merlot. I love how it works with the Rococo Rose. This is Mary Merlot, and of course this is Whisper White. And by the way, the new white cardstock is available to order in all the products. I think I mentioned that last week, but it's called Basic White. And I watched a really good review from a fellow demonstrator on it, and she said there really wasn't a lot of difference. The main difference she saw was that the new Basic White is actually whiter. And you could see it when she did her video. It's subtle, but this has a little bit of a warmer tone to it. And when she held it up to the new Basic White products, you could see the Basic White looked whiter and brighter. And so what that means, we'll get even nicer stamped images because we're stamping on a whiter surface. We won't have any yellow tone to it. Not that the Whisper White is so yellow that it really affects the ink color, but you could see the brightness when she stamped on the new product. So I don't have any of the new Basic White yet, but I'll be getting some, and looking forward to using it. I punched my hearts. Like I said, I punched a few out of Mary Merlot. I'm not sure how I'm going to use these yet, but I wanted to show you this. This is some of the new designer series paper from the mini catalog, and the pack is called, let me grab it here, it's called the Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper, and I want to just pull it onto camera here. There are 3 different colors, and you get 4 sheets each of it. And let's see if I have the page. It's on page 11 of the mini catalog. So you have Blushing Bride, and these all have foil on them. And this looks almost like copper foil. I'm not sure, but almost looks like copper. Very pretty. And then this is the Rococo Rose. And it looks like it has silver, kind of well, actually it has sort of a Rococo Rose foiling on it. Very pretty. And then this was the surprise color for me. This is Sahara Sand. And obviously, you know, it works nicely with the pinks. But then I started looking at it and I thought, wow, what about the earth tones from the neutrals? And so I put this over here. I pulled these earth tone pieces of cardstock out from the neutrals. I've got Mossy Meadow on top. This is Sahara Sand right under Early Espresso, and I think this is Soft Suede that I pulled out. But I love how these look with this new foiled paper. Just really rich and earthy. Just love that. I see some cards coming from this color combination. So anyway, new product, the Specialty Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper, page 11 of the new mini catalog. So like I said, we're going to make a box tonight that fits these Russell Stover hearts. Either the dark chocolate and coconut cream or the marshmallow filled one. First thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to make the box itself. So I start with a piece of 5 by 8 1/4 cardstock. That means you can get 2 of these out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to grab my scoring tool. So this is 5 by 8 1/4. And what I want to do is I want to score it 3 1/2 inches from a short edge. So I have the short edge over here, and I'm going to score it at 3 1/2 inches. Then I'm going to flip it 180 degrees, And I'm going to do the same thing from the other short edge. I'm going to score it at 3.5 inches from that short edge again. Then I'm going to turn it so a long edge is against the side, and I'm going to come in 1 1/4 inch. 1 1/4 inch from a long side and score that. Then I'm going to flip it 180 degrees, put it against that left edge, the long side against the left edge, and come in 1 1/4 inch from that side and score it. And that's all the scoring we need to do. And next we're going to do a little bit of cutting. So if you put this in landscape format, you want to come in on these 2 middle score lines and cut up to the first horizontal score line. I don't know if you can see that. Oops, you know what? I always forget to do this first. First, fold and burnish on all the score lines. There we go, because it's much easier to fold and burnish before you do the cutting. So just go ahead and fold and burnish on all the score lines. There we go. Okay. So now we put it in landscape format, and we want to cut on these 2 middle score lines just up to the first horizontal score line. So I'm just going to come in with my paper snips and just cut up to that first horizontal line. And then I want to fold these back a little bit out of the way, and I'm going to just take a corner off of this, and this helps this flap fit inside the box better. So I fold this one back out of the way and just kind of miter that tab so it folds in nicely when we're ready for that. So there's what we have so far. Then I'm going to turn it around 180 degrees and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to cut on these 2 score lines up to the first horizontal one. So I'm just going to come up like that. So I'm doing that on both lines here. And I want to fold this back out of the way. I just fold it back so I don't accidentally cut it. And then just miter that tab. Then do the other side of the tab. Just like that. So what we have now is this. See, we have tabs, and these will be the sides. So now it's time for a little bit of gluing. So I'm going to fold these in, and I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue for this. And you just want to, everyone who knows me knows I'm a disaster with glue, but you don't want gobs and gobs of glue. You just want to, actually I'm going to do one at a time. You just want enough. So when I fold this in, I want to just kind of feel with a finger and make sure that this side is lined up with the bottom of my box. And you have a little time to move things around because that liquid glue doesn't set immediately. So just hold it for a second. Then I'll do the other side. You could glue up both of these at once, but I'm just going to do one at a time here. And you want to make sure that you bring the opposite flap in from the back. This will be the back of your box, and you'll see why in a second. So you want to use the same side of your box and bring that flap in. So go like this, kind of hold it together and just feel the bottom. Just give it a chance to set up. Okay, so next we're going to glue these side flaps in. And the reason I said make sure you're using both flaps from the back of the box is because now when we fold these front flaps back, that's going to be the back of our box where you see the seam. This will be the front. It looks a little cleaner. So just going to apply glue to the bottom, what will be the bottom flap here. And when I say bottom, I mean it'll be underneath the flap that I'm folding over. So again, I'm just kind of just feeling, making sure everything's lined up. And because of the size of this box, you can actually take your bone folder and just run it inside there and get good contact. So that's one side, and then we'll do the other side. And you can kind of feel that the edge of this cardstock hitting the corner inside there, which is good. That's what you want. Just make sure things are lined up. I like to make sure the top is lined up nicely because that's what's going to show the most. I love this color, Rococo Rose. So pretty. Okay, so there's our box. That was easy, right? And we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to get the postage mark stamp from the Posted For You stamp set. And I already have it mounted here on my block. And I'm going to use Rococo Rose ink. And I'm going to stamp in the bottom left corner and the top right corner. I'm going to make one similar to this, so you can see where I stamped that. And I think I'm going to stamp off once, just so I get a nice subtle image. Oh, this is an ink spot that I'm using, by the way. I think this came in a paper pumpkin kit, and they're so handy for inking up small stamps like this. Really handy. So I'm going to stamp off once and stamp again and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think I'm going to stamp off so I get a nice subtle, oops, wrong piece. I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp on my paper here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then I'm going to put one up here in this other corner. Stamp off. Like that. Pretty. Okay, so that's that. And then the only other stamping I need to do is my sentiment. So I'm going to use Tuxedo Black, Memento Tuxedo Black. And this says For You. And I'm just going to stamp once just to check. Yeah. And right there. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so next, let's put some hearts together. And, oh, I love how this looks. I hadn't decided, that's why I cut all of these. I hadn't decided if I wanted to layer the Rococo Rose on the Mary Merlot or the other way around. And I think this is the winner. I think the foil needs to be on top, don't you? Okay, so before I attach all that, I want to put this rectangle on the front of my box. It's going to go just like that. And I think I'll use Stampin' Seal to do that. Just a little bit. As you can see, you can't really move things around with Stampin' Seal, so I kind of keep it lifted up and look at my edges and then set it down. And then, again, you can use your bone folder to get inside there and apply that. Okay, and then same thing with this. I want to apply this, or I want to adhere this smaller heart to the bigger one. And I like to start down here in the corner and just line it up like that. And this I'm going to attach with Stampin' Dimensionals so it pops up off of the card a little bit. I'll tilt the heart. So it kind of, I'm going to let it point down to the words for you down there at the bottom. And there we go. How easy is that? And how cute, right? Love these. Okay, and I cut, but I don't know where I put some, there it is, some tissue paper. Because I just like the way the tissue paper looks peeking up out of the box. And so I'm going to wrap my, how big is this? I think I cut about 8-inch squares. It's a little over 8 inch. And that's just about 8 inches right there. So I am not a tissue paper expert by any means. I don't do well with tissue paper, but so I'm going to wrap this up and pop it down in the box. And it's a snug fit, especially with the tissue paper, but that's fine. And there we have it. Aren't they adorable? Our little Valentine boxes with Russell Stover's candy inside. And you can play around with whatever papers you have. You can see I was playing with different designs. And this one, I didn't put any tissue paper in this one. This is the one with the marshmallow filled one. But I put a few pearl basic jewels on this one. They're not real fancy, but I just think they're so cute. Anyway, that's it. A very quick project tonight. I hope y'all will give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions. You can reach me at foggybonnet@gmail.com. That's foggybonnet@gmail.com. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.